Hello, welcome back to the Sunday Serving Channel, words of hope and truth and joy from the gospel. And it's February. In fact, it's Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. February is kind of a cold and dreary month. It's not a whole lot good about it. But you know what? God knew that, and He gave us Valentine's Day. So what is that all about? It's about love. It's about marriage. It's about faithfulness. It's about joy in life. So let's talk about Valentine's Day. Let's talk about love. I'm not going to get too much into the history of Valentine's Day, although it's interesting. I understand there's about 3 saints that the Catholic Church recognizes as Valentine, and there's some great legends about it, like this Emperor Claudius back in the Roman days in the 2nd century. He forbid men from marrying because they didn't make great soldiers if they were married and had kids. And this guy called Valentine, he went against that order and married people secretly, and for that he lost his life. Or there's another legend about a Valentine that was also imprisoned for doing good things, and he fell in love while he was in jail, and the jailer's daughter was who he fell in love with, so he left her a message from your Valentine. Anyways, back to sort of the biblical basis of love and joy. I've picked out 14 quotes from the gospel, from the Old and the New Testament, about love, and I hope that lifts you up today and gives you hope and gives you joy and love. Of course, in the very beginning of the Bible, in Genesis, God created man, and He decided that it wasn't good for man to be alone, so He created woman. And He said this, He said in Genesis, Moses said this, He said, "Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." So there we have the basis of that relationship of marriage that we celebrate. I have a whole list of these quotes here, too many to remember. So here we go, 14 quotes for Valentine's Day. See if I can find it here. There we go. Also in Genesis, there's a story of Jacob, who was looking for a wife to marry. And it says this about Jacob. It says, "So Jacob served 7 years to get Rachel. But they seemed like only a few days to him because of his love to her." Imagine that. So great was his love that 7 years only seemed like a few days. Then, of course, in the Old Testament, there's this guy called Solomon who wrote a lot about love. Some great things about that in Ecclesiastes. Here, Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. Solomon says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fail or fall, one will lift the other one up. But woe to the one who is alone and falls and does not have another to help." Then Ecclesiastes 9:9, it says, "Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love, all the days of this meaningless life." That kind of sounds like February, right? So enjoy life with your wife, the one who you love. Of course, the Song of Songs, or the Song of Solomon, has many beautiful poetic words about love. It says here, verse 9, "You have stolen my heart, my sister, my bride. You have stolen my heart with one glance of your eyes, with one jewel of your necklace. How delightful is your love, my sister, my bride. How much more pleasing is your love than wine." That's a beautiful quote. Then this one, which is many songs have been made out of this quote from verse 7, chapter 8. "Many waters cannot quench love. Rivers cannot sweep it away. If one were to give all the wealth of one's house for love, it would be utterly scorned." Then, of course, we come to the New Testament, and Jesus spoke a lot about love, because God is love. And so here's some quotes from the New Testament, first from John, chapter 15. Jesus said this to His disciples, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." So that command from Jesus, we should love each other as Jesus loves us. "No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friend. As the Father loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love." So we should really stay in this love of Jesus for all people. And then, of course, the great commandment, when Jesus was asked, we've talked about this before in this channel, what are the most important things to do? Matthew 22, He said, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind and your soul And this is the greatest and the first commandment. And the second is like it, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So the greatest two commandments, it's all about love. Loving God, loving our neighbor, loving each other. Then in the various books of the New Testament, the letters, there's some beautiful words about love. Romans 12, 9 through 13, let love be genuine. We should be real about our love. Hate what is evil, hold fast to what is good, and love one another with a mutual affection. So we should have joy in each other. It should be mutual. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not lag in zeal. Be ardent in spirit. Serve the Lord. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in suffering, and persevere in prayer. And then Colossians chapter 3, 14, it says, over all the virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. So anything good we can think about, what we should be doing, being generous, serving the poor, whatever we do, we have to put all those virtues together with love. And then 1 John, the letter of John, is full of words about love. It says, dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. So there we have it. If we want to love God, if we know God, we need to love each other. And again, 1 John 3:18, dear children, let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and truth. So what I'm doing here today actually is meaningless. The only love that matters is our action, what we do to others, and truth. And why do we love? Well, 1 John 4:19 tells us we love because he first loved us. So the only reason we can love is because of God's love, and God loved us first. And I want to end this message with the beautiful words that I'm sure you all are familiar with from 1 Corinthians 13 about love, the poem, the great poem of love. I'm sure it's read or mentioned in almost every marriage. Paul says, if I speak in the tongues of men and angels but have not love, I am a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and knowledge, if I have faith that can move mountains, but I don't have love, I am nothing. If I give all that I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. It always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always perseveres. Love never fails. Isn't that a great word? Love never fails. I'm going to skip down to the last verse of that section on love. Verse 13, it says, and now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. So I think that last line from Paul, that kind of beautifully, eloquently sums up, the most important things we should base our lives on: faith, hope, and love. And that love is the greatest gift of God. The greatest gift God gives us is love. So, love to you all, and God bless you, and have a happy Valentine's Day and a wonderful week. And let's go out there and let's love each other. Have a good week. Remy, who do you love? Go get him.